The next day we went into Manhattan. Guys, I am back in the UK. For info, I've just been to New York City for 4 days, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but I literally hate it. I hated it. I cannot even begin to explain. Like that's actually a bit dramatic. I just didn't enjoy it the way I thought I would enjoy it. And you know what? It wasn't my choice to go, it was my boyfriend's choice to go. He managed to get tickets to England Panama game in the World Cup, so he wanted to go, and also his sister lives out there, so it was nice to go and meet his sister because I'd never met her. And obviously he got to go to the game. But nothing in me, in my personality or anything has ever felt like I wanted to travel to the USA. And if I was ever going to travel there, it would 100% be to the countryside. I've never thought, oh, I want to go to New York, I want to go to LA, I want to go to Miami. No. Like, I've never thought that. I've always just felt like it wouldn't be somewhere I would enjoy, and I was 100% correct. So this is literally going to be a sit-down video because I have no vlog footage of New York. I started vlogging out of the airport and that was it, because I just thought to myself, I'm not going to enjoy it here. I'm not going to be able to make an enjoyable vlog because I'm not going to enjoy it. And that was literally it. I'll tell you what we did. I'll try and insert some pictures and stuff as I'm talking, because there were okay bits. Like, it wasn't all bad. I was about it that I just can't get behind. So basically we landed on Friday night we got there about 8 p.m. Went straight to his sister's house. Now I got a sour taste in my mouth because of immigration, right? Immigration, 2 hours in this long queue to be asked a couple of questions and my passport stamped. It's insanity. Like, I've never in my life been to many countries. Never in my life have I experienced immigration to take so long. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that was really annoying. And then getting out of the airport was fine. We got a yellow cab, and that's like the first and last video I took on this camera, because I was recording the yellow cabs as they were pulling up outside, and I saw like some of them had like billboards on top, and I just thought, oh no, I'm in like I'm in a capitalism hellhole here. I just knew it. I just knew it from the very beginning. Put my camera away, got in the Uber. On the back of the seat of the Uber was like this little screen, just advertisement after advertisement after advertisement. Just, it was absolutely, I just like, I couldn't believe it. The yellow cab driver was playing with my life. I don't know why he was driving like that. Also, I actually, like, after being in the taxi, I was like, oh, I've got a headache. Like, I actually had a headache. I was peak stress, and I just feel like I stayed at peak stress, not calm or relaxed at all for the whole trip. So we got back to his sister's apartment, my boyfriend's sister's apartment. They had pizza for us. I ate some of the pizza, but then I just felt a bit ill afterwards. This was a common theme. Every time I ate, I started to feel sick. So anyway, we had a bit of pizza. I went to bed, got up the next day, and the next day it was that's the day the England game was, on the Saturday. So my boyfriend went to they have 2 kids, so we took the kids to the park and stuff. I did Brooklyn Promenade. I forgot to say they live in Brooklyn Heights, so I did like the Brooklyn Promenade, I think it is, which is actually really nice. I took the kids to like this little park, did the promenade, also went out for breakfast, and then my boyfriend went to the game with his brother-in-law, and I spent the afternoon with his sister. So we went to Williamsburg. We went to Williamsburg to do some thrift shopping and some just general shopping, which was nice actually. Like, it was the first time I'd ever met her, so we were getting to know each other. Williamsburg I really liked. Williamsburg gave me like Northern Quarter in Manchester vibes, which I love. I did really like it. That was the only time I went. I didn't have the chance to go back to Williamsburg, which was a bit of a shame. But since my boyfriend's sister lives out there, chances are we'll be going back every year. So we'll have plenty of time to go back to Williamsburg. One thing America does have is a lot of brands and a lot of shops that the UK doesn't have. So shopping there is like insane. Next time I think I am gonna have to go with more money and a spare suitcase, because like I could have bought so much stuff for my house. There was so many homeware stores that just looked really good, and I could have just bought so many like blankets and picture frames and all of that stuff that we just can't get in the UK. So we did Williamsburg, and then in the evening we went to Manhattan, and we went to like this, I think it was a Mexican restaurant in Manhattan. I can't remember where in Manhattan was, but I loved the food in the Mexican place. I much preferred the like Latin America food in America than I did American food. We had Mexican and like Latin American food a lot, so that it wasn't too bad. Loved the restaurant. We didn't like doing much walking around or anything, so it was just like kind of like a light introduction to Manhattan. Yeah, so the next day, we went into Dumbo. So we walked from Brooklyn Heights to Dumbo via the promenade, which is nice. So we didn't go into like really far into Dumbo, but we went sort of on the outskirts of it. And then we made our way to walking across Brooklyn Bridge, which again was quite fun. It was very busy, very much a touristy thing to do, but you did get great views of the city, and you got great views of Brooklyn and the skyline. So that was really good. And then obviously when you get off the Brooklyn Bridge, you're in Manhattan. And that's where I was just like I can't do this. Like, I actually can't do this. It was just so busy, so big, so like it smelt really, really bad. Like, just thinking about it makes me want to be sick. So basically, every few streets there was just like it genuinely smelled like there was sewage coming up from the drains. And I just don't know how people are living like that. They say in New York you're never 2 feet from a rat, and I understand now, because it absolutely reeks. It reeks. So anyway, we did some walking, and we ended up in, where were we? In Flatiron. We didn't, what did we walk over? Oh no, we did some walking, and then we actually got an Uber because I lost my water bottle in the airport, so I wanted to buy another water bottle, and I was eyeing up a Yeti, so we wanted to go to the Yeti store, which was in Fifth Avenue. So we got an Uber, and it took us as close as we could. We got out of the Uber and actually discovered that we went into Manhattan on a Pride March day. It was so busy. Yeti was closed, so it was like a pointless endeavour. I just went into the middle of pure chaos for no reward. And they were like, Jesus is king, like anti-protesters, obviously, because there was like the LGBTQ plus parade. And it was actually like, that was quite nice, because you saw a lot of people, there was like a lot of gay couples in front of this protest, like taking pictures of themselves kissing and stuff, and I thought that was quite cute. But like, I don't like to be around that energy, like that kind of nega Jesus is king energy, especially on a day like Pride, when it should just be a celebration, like go home. And it was just like, oh, this is like so American. Like so American, like God squad are out trying to ruin everyone's day. But anyway, after that, we decided to get back in an Uber and get a taxi towards the Skywalk, because I did want to do the Skywalk. I was just out here trying to find any little thing that I could do that would get me out of the chaos and into whatever nature there is in New York, because it really is a concrete jungle. To be fair to them, there are more parks in New York than there are in Manchester City Centre, but it just feels really oppressive and big and loud, and I was just trying to get myself out of it. So I wanted to go to the Skywalk, so we got an Uber there, got some food, ate, started to feel sick again, but then we walked to the Skywalk. We joined it halfway and then walked down and got off the Skywalk into the meatpacking village, and then we did a bit of what's it called? The Hudson River Greenway walk. We did a bit of that. I tried to go to Little Island, which for some reason was closed on a really busy weekend in New York. Don't really understand that. I just wanted to chill somewhere green. That's all I wanted. I wanted to chill somewhere green, and I just couldn't find it. So then after that, we made our way back to Brooklyn and spent a bit more time in Brooklyn Heights, because there's a street called in Brooklyn Heights called Montague Street, which is a really nice street, like nice cafes, nice books, and it's not too loud, it's not too like in your face, it's really quite nice. So we got some drinks there, and then we met his sister and brother-in-law at a rooftop bar in Dumbo, on the edge of Dumbo. Harriet's rooftop. So we went there. That was really nice, full of like not really my crowd of people, but however the view was really nice. We got to see the sunset, we had some nice seafood, and that was lovely. And then the next day we got the underground to go to Upper East Side, just wanted to go to Upper East Side. I wanted to go to the Met Museum and also spend a bit of time in Central Park. I just wanted to like chill out in, again, I'm trying to find the green of the USA, and I didn't want to join it. So basically, I didn't want to join the Central Park at the bottom of Central Park because I feel like that would be where it's busiest because that's where all the tourists congregate. So we got the underground all the way up to the Upper East Side and then got into Central Park near the Met Museum, which was nice. The Central Park is nice. However, again, it's just because you can see the buildings next to you, like all of the skyscrapers in the park, you can see them. It doesn't feel open and it doesn't feel like I think greenery should feel. It just felt like really oppressive. Like that's the word I would use for New York. It just felt oppressive. That's how it felt. So, but anyway, we spent a few hours in there. Sorry, I lied there. The first thing we did was try and go to Central Station. Somehow we got on the wrong underground. It's like, it's had a number on it, and like Google Maps directions said this number will take you to Central Station, but it didn't. It started going west. So we had to get off. Guys, we had to get off in Times Square. I'm telling you now, like, if hell was a place, it would be Times Square. If hell was a place, it would be Times Square. I don't understand like what the obsession with Times Square is, because it's literally a bunch of billboards. It's a bunch of advertisements. It's like the capital of capitalism. Please, why are people going to Times Square? Pure chaos, pure hell. So I was like, get me out of here. We walked up that street via Bryant Park, which again, packed out. I mean, I can't complain that it was busy. It's summer and it's New York City. It's like probably one of the most densely populated places on earth. But I just don't know why I didn't expect it to be as busy as it was. It was just really hard anyway. And then we walked up there via Bryant Park, and then we went to Central Station, which again, was really excited to see it. It's apparently one of the most impressive buildings in New York, and I was just severely underwhelmed. I just feel like everything in the US is giving grand on scale, very underwhelming on detail. I think because I'm from Europe and because like I've seen such grandeur in Europe and in European buildings and churches, etc., everything that was there that was meant to be beautiful and historical was very underwhelming to me. Hate to say it, but it's true. And also, why the hell in Central Station, why the hell have Apple set up a shop? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just everywhere you go, it's just giving capitalism and like spend your money type of vibes. I really didn't like it. I really didn't enjoy it. Anyway, I'm just checking my photos to remind myself where we went. We went to Soho, which quite liked. In fact, it was still very busy. However, there were so many shopping options. We didn't have very long there. So from there, we went into a few shops. I tried to find something to buy. I couldn't find anything. And then we got an Uber from there back to Brooklyn Heights. And then the day after that, I said to my boyfriend, babes, I'm not going into Manhattan anymore. I'm not going into Manhattan ever again. Do not take me there. So we stayed Brooklyn side. So this last day was the day we were going home. So we stayed Brooklyn side. So we went to eat in a place called Cobble Hill, which is again like suburban by New York standards, and has nice foods and like red brick or brownstones, whatever you call them, brownstone buildings. Had breakfast there, and then we went on a walk from there to the park, Prospect Park in Brooklyn, which is like Brooklyn. I believe it's Brooklyn's equivalent to Central Park, which I much preferred to Central Park because it was a lot quieter and you didn't have like the oppressive skyscrapers on either side. It felt more open. It felt like if you're from Manchester, I would say it felt a bit like Heaton Park, like open spaces, no tall buildings afterwards. And where we walked there so basically we were in Brooklyn Heights, we walked down to Cobble Hill, and then we walked up by a park slope to Prospect Park, and then after that we went to a place called Fort Greene, these are just neighborhoods around Prospect Park, family oriented, like very like childrenified. I think it's very expensive to live there. Like, I don't think normal New Yorkers would be able to live there, but it's full of the brownstones. However, the thing I dislike about this part of New York and this part of Brooklyn is really like, even when something looks quite close on the maps, it's really far away. Like, I just feel like in the UK, if I want to walk somewhere, it's like usually everything's within like 30 minutes, 30 minutes of me. There, it felt like everything was like 40, 50 minutes walk away. And it just felt like, even though it's walkable, I think New York is one of the most walkable cities in the USA, so I've heard on TikTok, it's so big that everything's just quite far away. And that's just very annoying for a person like me. And especially on the hot days, because you really don't want to be like getting the underground or the subway on a hot day. Like it was a lot. And that was basically my trip. After that, it was back to the hotel to pack, and then we left for the airport because we had an 8 p.m. flight. But generally, I didn't enjoy it. Like, there were definitely enjoyable moments in there, but I felt like I needed an escape. I felt like I needed a place to go that was quiet and just switch my brain off and switch everything off. But generally, I didn't like New York. It smelled like, I texted my brother today because I posted on my story. I was like, thank God I'm back in England. Like, I'm so happy to be home. We don't know how lucky we have it over here. I'm going to read what I said. It was busy as fuck. You can't even get an Uber without being advertised to. Everything is expensive. Everything is expensive. Yeah, I did mention that everything is expensive. Okay. You feel sick after eating. I felt ill after eating every single time I ate. Every single time I ate, I felt sick. I don't know what it is about the food. Maybe it's just like all of the stuff that's in it that we can't have, that's not allowed to be in our food in Europe. But I genuinely felt so ill nearly after every meal. Walking everywhere due to the sheer size, I didn't like it. That it's very loud. So the honking for me, I don't know, as a European, I didn't know, well, not as a European because they do honk in Europe, but I think as a Brit, honking is so rude. If you were to honk at someone in the UK, like it's basically like you're starting a fight. You should only honk in the UK if it's a dangerous situation that you're trying to make someone aware of. I think that's literally the law. So the honking culture over there was just very shocking to me. And I think in an already loud city, the honking just makes it worse. And they drive a bit mad. They're a bit mad on the road. I just didn't expect Americans to drive like that. I thought it would be a bit more civilized, but the driving is a bit crazy. And then what else did I say to him? Yeah, also the trucks, like the size of the cars are just so unnecessary to me. Like, they're genuinely so unnecessary because they can't even go fast. Like, if you're in a place like New York, why are you driving this big ass truck that's loud as fuck? Why? I completely understand if you live in like in Yellowstone and you're a farmer and you're driving these big roads and vast distances and you want a big comfortable car, but you're in New York, babes. You don't even need a car. I think New York should really like legislate that all cars should be electric. I've genuinely had a headache since I got since I got there. I had a headache. I was taking Neuromal every day. Like, the sewage on the streets and the smell was so bad. And another thing like that I just feel about New York, I can't speak for the rest of the US. I can't imagine the rest of the US being much different to this, but it feels like a really soulless place. Manhattan in particular feels soulless. Brooklyn had more soul. Brooklyn had more edge and more interest to it, but Manhattan, it's soulless and it had like this really dark energy. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't think I'm being dramatic because I am a person that I really pick up on energies, but it just felt like it had this really dark, soulless energy to it, and it just felt like a struggle. It just felt like it had this undercurrent of like unhappiness. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. Manhattan in particular, Brooklyn didn't have that feeling. It didn't have the same feeling to me. Manhattan though, yeah, I don't like that place. I don't like that place at all. But yeah, that's my verdict on New York City. So will I ever go back to the US? I don't know. I may go back when, like, I'm gonna have to go back to New York to see his sister. Like, my boyfriend wants to go back yearly because he really likes it. I will probably stay in Brooklyn. I probably won't venture into Manhattan. I don't think we need to leave Brooklyn because Williamsburg is a really good shopping spot. That's another thing as well. The only thing to do for fun really in New York is drink, eat, or shop. What else is there to do? Really? Everything. There's nothing to do that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Yeah. So that's my verdict on New York City. But you know, aside from that, New Yorkers were nice, to be fair. I didn't have any bad run-ins with any New Yorkers. The taxi drivers are quite quiet. British taxi drivers are talkative, like they yap. Taxi drivers in New York are just, they keep themselves to themselves, like they do their job. They run you out of the car and onto the next one. Didn't love it. Low-key hated it. Very, very happy to be back in the UK. Yeah. We're lucky to live here, guys. We're so lucky to live here.